Good morning. I had 2 weeks of vacation, and I learned a whole lot. And I heard a voice with some stories from my vacation tell me exactly how we ought to sing this next hymn. The first thing it said was, remember that there is sun. Chill out, man. So I'm gonna sit down. And I'm gonna chill out, man. And then I remembered the 2 conversations that I started and how nervous I was because I'm a deep introvert. And the voice said, chill out, man. This is serious business. How many people are afraid to sing in public? Anybody in here? Anybody nervous at all? Anybody absolutely confident? Yeah, look around. It's a vulnerable game that we're doing, but we're sharing one of the most powerful things we could possibly share. When you sing to someone, they almost always smile. So, I think we ought to start by knowing each other. I'm Glenn Thomas. I'd love it if you would exchange a name or 2 or 4 of your own. Now, only the names, because we have to sing the song. But say good morning, will you? And let's start on a personal note. Good morning. I'm Glenn Thomas. Good morning. I'm Glenn Thomas.
Good morning.
Great. Great. The last thing I remember is at random, in a very peaceful moment, Tina Turner's "Rollin' on the River" started playing very, very loudly, and it has a very particular beginning. We never do things nice and easy, but we're going to start it nice and easy. Will you take a breath with me before we make any sound? And breathe in a bit of peace. Yeah. Your voice can do magnificent things, and our voice can do even more magnificent things. With that in mind, let's hear what it sounds like. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Now the next part goes, where do we come from? Your turn. Where do we come from? The last part. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Now, if we all went into the world and sang the exact same tune, it wouldn't be as interesting as we can make it. So we'll sing this a few times. I would love, if you feel a different part, some experiment with your hands or with your voice, would you add that? Try it out. Nothing's going to go wrong. We're just singing, everybody. And it's going to do you a lot of good. Your future self will thank you. All right. We'll just experiment and see what our sound sounds like. All right, I'll get us started. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Where do we come Take that voice with you, will you? Good morning.
Good morning, dear ones. My name is Allison Connolly Vetter. I use she and her pronouns, and it is my delight to serve as the director of our Children, Youth, and Family Ministries here at First Universalist Church of Minneapolis. Whether you are joining us online or in person, it is so good to have you with us. It is a gift to be leading worship this morning with Reverend Ashley Harness, Dr. Glenn Thomas Rideout, our worship associate, Sherry Miriam, coming of age coordinator, Sarah Huser, our coming of age and bridging youth, and as always, our tech gods, Olu, John, Rob, and John. I'm also grateful to our facilities team who makes our building function, and to our child care providers offering staff child care in room 104. Although you wouldn't know it by the recent weather, today marks our first Sunday on our summer worship schedule. All summer long, from now until mid-September, we will worship all together at 10 a.m., just like we are doing today. If you are here, you read your email, congratulations. Because during our summer months, religious education is worship and we do not have classes, I want to remind us that all noises and movements are welcome in this space. Laughing and crying, clapping off beat, rocking in a rocking chair, playing around in the choir pews. Exactly! Movement and noise is how we know we are alive, and it is a gift to be alive together. Today, our worship service focuses on one element of what it means to be alive together, and that is transitions. Transitions or changes happen all the time. We get older and we move from first grade to second grade. We get a driver's license. We get married. When a pet or a family member dies, when we receive a new medical diagnosis, or when we become illness-free. All of these changes and transitions are just part of what it is to be a human being. Today, we're highlighting two significant transitions in the life of our youth at church. Our 9th grade youth are graduating from our Coming of Age program, and our graduating seniors are transitioning from being in our programs for kids and youth to becoming young adults at church. The ritual for transitioning of our graduating seniors is known as bridging, and we'll talk more about that later. But we'll also make space for all of us, kids and adults alike, to think through what transitions we might be going through at this time in our lives. Transitions might include a change of weather. Has anybody seen that over the past couple weeks? Maybe you're playing a new sport or starting a summer camp, going on vacation. You might be in your last days or weeks at your current school. So we'll take time to mark some of those transitions together as a congregation. But before we do that, we're going to take time to honor the transition we all make by coming to this space, setting aside this sacred time in the midst of our busy lives, committing our presence to each other and allowing ourselves to be transformed in community. To support us in making this transition into worship, I invite us to take 3 on-purpose breaths together on your own time. And now, did you let her, Chelsea? And now, I invite you to join me in saying the words of the lighting of our chalice, which begin with the all-important love. Love is the spirit of this church. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. In just a moment, you will have the joy of meeting our coming-of-age youth, these ninth graders sitting right here. The coming-of-age program and the coming-of-age ceremony we held on Wednesday are time-honored Unitarian Universalist rites of passage. In coming of age, our youth grow up and take their place in our congregation. This program and this ceremony connect us to our Unitarian Universalist ancestors across time and space. As the youth in the sanctuary this morning join the many youth around the world who have participated in coming of age and the many who will participate in the future. These thoughtful, funny, and engaged ninth graders have spent the past year striving to understand themselves and their beliefs, and they have generously synthesized this learning into the spiritual statements they shared with us on Wednesday night. Who was at that ceremony on Wednesday? Was it amazing? It was amazing. It was amazing. In this service today, they'll share just a small snippet of those statements. They offer us one precious moment of insight into their experience in our coming of age program. Receiving their stories of curiosity, growth, and connection truly blesses all of us. Their sharing is a gift of time and courage and energy, and we are blessed to receive it. To introduce these youth, I invite forward our amazing coming of age coordinator, Sarah Huser.
Hello, my name is Sarah Huser, and I use she, her pronouns. I've had the joy of being the volunteer coming of age coordinator this past year. So since September, this beloved group of youth has dedicated their Sunday mornings and imaginations to the big questions of faith. How did our world come to be and why? What is the nature of being human? What happens after death? How do we remind ourselves of what's important? What is a God, and do I have one? How do we live in a world of many faiths? What is community? As a faith tradition, Unitarian Universalism does not require its practitioners to follow a particular set of beliefs or creed in order to be in religious community. We often say we don't have to think alike to love alike. Instead, we hold that in order for faith to be vital and real, we all have to be free to question and wonder. And in order for faith to have meaning, we have to be responsible with our search and with the answers we hold true. Being a religious tradition without a required set of beliefs, also called being non-creedal, does not mean that Unitarian Universalism is a faith in which people can believe anything they want. Rather, Unitarian Universalism is a faith tradition in which we seek the truths that will grow our souls, enliven our communities, and make our world better. The coming of age youth will now each read a short excerpt from their statements of faith.
When our heart is in a holy place, we are. Sorry, y'all, that's my bad. I still have the VAC of vacation still. I'm sorry. We still gonna sing this chorus because it's good to sing. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Here we go. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
Hi, my name is Lillian Pugh, and this is part of my spiritual statement. I still don't know if I believe in a specific God. After all, I'm barely 15, and I have my whole life ahead of me to figure that out if it's something I choose to do. I do know this, though. Love has powered me through many hard times and will continue to be a building block of my life.
Good morning, my name is Georgia, and this is my part I chose. It seems that we spend a lot of time just listening to what other people tell us about something and not getting to experience it ourselves. It feels to me that the whole reason for us to exist is to experience and learn about the world, because the meaning of life can't be anything but to have fun.
Good morning. My name is Devin, and this is my snippet of my spiritual statement. It is our ability to grow, to challenge ourselves, and to uplift one another that defines us far more than our shortcomings. I don't always have the answers, but I do have the ability to grow, keep learning, and keep moving forward.
Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm reading a part of my statement. I think a lot of people have lost touch with their whimsy and imagination. I see the magic in the world where I think others don't. But I think people should look for the fairies in the woods and the magical energies in the world. Believe in the unbelievable. And I'm reading for Ali. I believe in spirits, gods, things above us, below us, and outside of us. I believe that there's something so brilliant about life on Earth and outside of it. I believe that the only impossible thing is the idea that all of this leads to nothing.
Hi, I'm Luna, and this is part of my faith statement. I believe in a God that guides you not just by telling you what to do, but by pointing you in a certain direction, even if you don't believe it's the right thing to do.
When we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy
Good morning, my name is Lucy Johnson, and this is part of my faith statement. I believe God is the drive and desire within every person to love, accept, and provide help to those in need. We are called to meet people where they are, with kindness and understanding, and to offer help even when it's hard.
Hi, my name's Callum Thompson, and here's my excerpt. What I believe in is that trying to understand what one believes is an impossible task. For me, every time I try to grasp what I believe in, new possibilities form in my mind, and I fall further away from one singular belief.
My name is Erin, and this is an excerpt from my spiritual statement. I believe that love is the center of all beings and the thing that ties us to one another. I believe that love is always and forever. It cannot have expectations or conditions. I believe that every person deserves to feel, be, and express love no matter their race, religion, or background.
Hello, my name is Alex, and this is a part of my spiritual statement. I believe that God is a force that is within us and is a force that guides us to be our own best selves almost as our own morals. I'm also speaking on behalf of Clementine, who made this painting. I hate the word church, even though I have plenty of great church-going friends who are proud of their status on Sundays. I know I do not number among them. However, I can appreciate a space made to be sacred, to meditate and apologize and be with people. For me, unlike my friends, I think I can find this more in FDR's Cathedral Grove, surrounded by 1,000-year-old redwoods only miles away from the sea. I think I could let myself breathe.
Good morning, my name is Will, and this is part of my spiritual statement. I believe our world is constantly changing, and the ways we depend on each other also shift and grow. From personal challenges to global issues, we have to adapt together. We need each other's courage and creativity to navigate the unknown.
When we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving heart, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. We are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy
Hi, my name is Lucas, and this is my spiritual statement. Which one's it on? Back to that one. I still feel deep inside that has to be something greater than just us, something bigger, more powerful, and full of mystery.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Madison. Because of all these beliefs, I choose to act as a person with an open mind, kind heart, and always choose to stay curious in this world.
No matter how much we look, there's some things we can never know. I don't feel like I get to say what God is or isn't. All I can do is live my life while I have it.
By definition, hi, my name is Nils, and this is my part of my faith statement. By definition, being agnostic is believing something, but still not being 100% sure. It's about being fine of not having all the answers, not letting the uncertainty control your life.
Good morning. My name is Keely, and this is the ending to my spiritual statement. I know that my beliefs will change and continue to change throughout my life, but the one thing I wish will never change is the pure and powerful strength of love and hope. Thank you.
When we hear the silence of sacred space, and the heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's name, then our heart is in holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. We are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
Will the advisors and mentors of our coming of age class please rise? Susan, Avi, Raylan, Claire, and Malia, you, as advisors, have tended to this class every Sunday morning. You have faithfully shown up again and again. This program would not be possible without your presence, participation, love, and dedication. And dear mentors, you have given so much to these youth. Since February, you have connected with and listened to our youth process their spiritual timelines, engage with sacred texts, and participate in the nature vigil. Thank you so much for sharing your presence with our youth. So let's give our advisors and mentors another huge round of applause.
And now we have to thank the person who really made coming of age possible, and that is Sarah Huser. Sarah, will you come back up? Thank you all. It is so good to see Sarah's ministry recognized. Sarah, sometimes as a volunteer, spends up to 20 hours a week ministering with our coming of age program. She's here every Sunday. It's not just the emails and the class time, it's the curriculum, reflection, being part of broader leadership teams of the church. Sarah is so committed to this program because Unitarian Universalist religious education will what?
Save the world.
Save the world. That's right. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley. I'm one of your ministers. In just a few minutes, we get a chance to share our resources with the Children, Youth, and Families Ministries of this church that brought you that gorgeous, gorgeous time of reflection from our youth. But before that, I just want to check in with you all. What season is it? Not the weather, that's too confusing. It's money season, is that what you called it? It's money season. What's another word for that? It's fundraising or stewardship or pledge season. How have we been doing so far? Hanging in there? Hanging in there. We are doing pretty well. I would like to invite the board, finance team, and stewardship teams to rise as you are able in this moment. So we not only met our goal, but we surpassed it. You all liberated some resources. We passed a budget on Thursday night with the board of $1 and pi million. 1.314 million is what we had collected so far. Yeah. So I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate, because you know what? We have a habit of raising the bar on ourselves before we've even taken a moment to celebrate. So thank you all. We are going to make some continued ministries of resistance and joy keep happening this year. Also, thank you to our youth leadership team for a fabulous event last night. Reverend Laura got pied in the face. Allison survived dunking in freezing cold water outside. The things we do for y'all. And we raised over $4,000, so thank you, youth leadership team. You all are amazing. Look at what we do when we remember we are not alone and we are holding it together. Let us receive our morning offering this morning in support of our children, youth, and families ministry. Children and youth, and anyone else who feels like it, will you come forward so we can talk about prayer and holding things together? Come sit up here. Nobody. Nobody wants to talk about prayer. That's fitting. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Raylyn. If anyone else wants to come forward, that'd be fun too. Hey. So prayer's kind of a funny word. Anyone got thoughts about what you've heard people talk about when they talk about praying? Talking to God. What do people mean by prayer? Setting intention. Anyone else? Turning to tradition? Love it. Anyone else out there? What do you think of when you think of prayer? It doesn't have to be positive. It's cool to name what you really think when you hear that word. Asking. Asking. What? Thanking. There was another one I didn't hear. Sending energy. Expressing a hope. Being open to listen, connecting. What else? Together. This is pretty good, y'all. Kneeling on hard wood. Ooh. That reminds me of my grandfather, who apparently told my mother at a church service when my mother was little and everybody else kneeled. He said, "The harnesses don't kneel for anyone." He didn't live long enough for me to be a minister, but you know. We all come with some baggage. Sherry said there's 4 kinds of prayer. Thanks, wow, please. And we forget the 4th. You know what? Forgiveness. Thanks, wow, please, and sorry. That's a pretty good list. You know, we are Unitarian Universalists. There is no right answer here. There's really no right answer. But what do we say every week when we hang out together and talk about the things that are hard and the things that are joyful? What do we say after each person says it? Let's do it together. You are not alone. We are holding it together. Yes. My short answer about what prayer is it's just a time to pay attention to what we need help with and what we are thankful for. What we need help with and what we are thankful for is the shortest answer to what prayer is. And doing that in some way that is in relationship to something outside of ourselves or deeply within ourselves, in relationship to a tree, a lake, God, ancestors, love, each other. It really doesn't matter. It's about the intention of remembering that we are not alone. We are holding it together. So now is the time when we're going to practice this together. We're going to practice this thing some of us call prayer. And I invite you up front and you out there and you on the interwebsies, in the Zoom lands, in the chat lands to share. Can you hand me my computer? Thank you. All that you might want us to hold together. What you need help with. What you want to say thank you for. Remembering that every time we share something joyful, it grows when we share it together. And every time when we share something that we need help with, it gets a little lighter when we share it together. Okay. The circle is open now, and Sarah is sharing a beautiful prayer, which is that we are praying prayers of gratitude that Violet has been born to Jira and Zion, who are our family in sanctuary, our trans family in sanctuary, and everyone is doing well. And we are grateful for all of you who turned out for a very sweet baby shower, and all of you who contributed, and all of our Sanctuary Resistance team who made presents actually arrive in the right place. We give thanks, and we say, you are not alone. We are holding it together. My brain does not work well enough to get that whole name, but I know that it was the full name of baby Violet, and the parents are so grateful, and the baby is at least 7 pounds. So, you are not alone. We are holding it together. We have a prayer online, gratitude and joy for my new grandson, Charlie. This is from Margie Nalzani. And a full heart watching my son and daughter-in-law parent. You are not alone. We are holding it together. And Julie and Donna sending hope and prayers for our sister Maggie and a good friend Sam. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For all the children whose safe place is school as the school year comes to a close. You are not alone. We are holding it together. Our love and prayers are with Smriti and her sibling Brooklyn, and parents Diana and Kyle as they navigate Smriti's health. She is a child who had a stroke in early May and has been found to have a chronic vascular condition. Recently, while at Children's Hospital for surgery, she had another stroke and is in the ICU in a very fragile situation. You are not alone.
We are holding it together.
For Philip Vance, wrongfully imprisoned, niece's longtime friend, and all the legal barriers to finding justice, may you remember you are not alone.
We are holding it together.
For forgiving oneself when you make a mistake. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For your grandma Mary, who passed away last night, and your mom, who is dealing with the loss of a parent for the first time. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For the gift of our coming of age youth. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
For mercy and softened hearts for our national leaders.
For mercy and softened hearts for our national leaders. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
For our graduating seniors who we celebrate in Bridging today, for all that they have brought to our congregation and for their future journeys.
For our graduating seniors who will be celebrating shortly, for all they have brought in their future endeavors also. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
For my little native relatives / students who did some phenomenal work in advocacy this week, including Step for Missing Murder Indigenous relatives.
For Amelia's Indigenous relatives and students' Indigenous relatives, for their incredible advocacy this week around murdered and missing Indigenous relatives. May they remember, you are not alone. We are holding it together. For all those in the way of tornadoes and all suffering due to environmental climate changes. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For all the prayers that rest silently on our hearts, for all that do not even have words yet, may we each, all remember. Thank you, all of you who came up front. You may return to your seats as we sing our prayers now.
Oh
we've had a lot of talking. If you need, let's just do a little wiggle together. I invite you to do a little wiggle. Movement's how we know we're alive. Do a little wiggle. Do a little shake it out. Do a little shake it out. The wiggle on the piano. I appreciate the musical translation. Amazing. Feel free to do that as often as you need in this space. It is now time to celebrate our graduating seniors. Yes, that's right. So today is our bridging ceremony. We take time to mark the transition of our seniors in high school. You are already in transition as your final semester of high school is winding down and you're preparing for what's next, knowing that regardless of the specifics of what is next for you, you are entering a time of early adulthood. This change doesn't mean that you leave childhood behind, because we all want to hold on to some of that inner child for our whole lives. But it does mean you're growing into a new set of rights and responsibilities and a different relationship to the communities that you're part of, like this one. Decisions about your religion and your faith, your life, and your personhood lie ahead. You will decide whether to go to church, whether to belong to a congregation, or whether to continue your religious life on your own. And now or in the future, this change means coming into the right to vote, which we really hope you do. In fact, there's a bunch of things that you are soon going to be able to legally do, and even more in the years to come. You are amazing. But as amazing as you are, you did not get to this point in your lives alone. For all of us, transitions are only possible with the support of the people around us who love us, tend to our growth, and show up for us when we need them the most. So will all the parents and caregivers, siblings, and chosen families of today's graduates please rise as you're able? Families of these graduates, on behalf of myself and our ministers and staff, our kindred youth leaders, we thank you for the privilege of ministering with your young people here at church. These people have enlivened our hearts, enriched our lives, and helped us to better understand what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist. Thank you so much. You may be seated. But we know that it's not only the parents and caregivers of these youth who have formed them into who they are. It has taken all of us to bring them to this point. Our entire congregation has participated in their becoming, sharing in song and story and ritual, tradition, laughter and tears, children's chapel and worship right here in the sanctuary. I'm wondering, will anyone who spent time with the seniors in this class as a religious education volunteer or a youth group advisor, an overnight chaperone or a field trip driver, a coming-of-age mentor, a minister or staff, board member, or in any other way, will you raise your hand if you spend time helping us to form these young people? Thank you all so, so much. So now that we've honored your families and your congregational family, it's time to build a bridge for our graduating seniors. Our faith tradition is one that delights in metaphor, maybe to a fault. And for many years now in Unitarian Universalist congregations across North America, we've used the metaphor of bridging to mark the transition of our graduates today. Why bridging? Bridging is a means of crossing from one place to another, youth to adulthood, season to season, year to year, community to community. Graduates, what we mark today is partly that you are bridging out of our programs for kids and youth at church and into our programs for adults. You are setting out to cross this and many other bridges in your future. Today is only one of those transitions. Some will be chosen and some unchosen, some straightforward and some complicated, some delightful and some challenging. Bridging moments like these in our lives can be fragile moments in which we revert to habits that no longer serve us, when we can feel ungrounded. Bridges and transitions are moments when we need extra support, like the support of our families and this congregation, to help our roots deepen and our spirits settle in, and to help those of us in motion finish what we began. This morning, to mark this particular transition, we will give you one of these rainbow chalice pillows. This is a tradition of graduates at First Universalist, lovingly handmade by faithful members of our congregation, including Marnie Peichel, Marie Listapod, Judith Grittner, Sarah McMullen, and Carolyn Liebler. Our wish is that you keep this pillow as a symbol of our love for you, as an opportunity to stay grounded in your own beliefs. When you need someone to hug or someone to hug you, find comfort and connection in this pillow, which is so blessed, the physical embodiment of our presence with you always. When you need a moment of beauty and joy and light, turn towards this pillow and see the care and love put in it by our congregation. Wherever you go, you and this pillow, we will always be here for you. Whether you stop by to visit next year, and I hope you will, or 10 years from now, we will always be here for you. And we hope you'll remember that this faith community is always available when you need a pew to sit in, a minister or community elder to talk through a decision with, or a graham cracker and a cup of coffee on a Sunday morning. Our doors are always open to you, as are the doors of Unitarian Universalist congregations around North America. When you hold this pillow, we hope you'll remember all the lessons we have learned together and the comfort that can be found in religious community. So I now invite our graduating seniors to come forward, Willa, Avery, and Ian. Over this way, yeah. Ian. All right. You did it. Take a deep breath. Look at all of these people in the pews who are here for you. They are your fans, your biggest cheerleaders. They are your people and you are theirs. They have your back and they wish the world for you. As you stand here before our congregation, soak this in. We love you and we believe in you and we always will. Dear community, kids and adults, we know a thing or two about change. We know a thing or two about transition. And so I thought we should share some blessings with these graduates as they mark this newest transition. What binds us together as Unitarian Universalists is a promise, a covenant, that we will hold each other in compassion. Our lives are bound together in a love that knows no bounds, and we commit ourselves to living and loving the good. Today, we embody that covenant in the ancient ritual of laying on or laying near of hands. I'm going to invite the family members of these youth to come forward and join us on the chancel. As they do that, I invite everyone else, as we do, to warm up your blessing hands. Warm up your blessing hands. Yeah, thanks, Laura. Yeah. And And church members, church community, I invite you to extend a hand over these young people. Family, I invite you to place a hand on or near your graduates. Feel the weight of these hands. Hands holding you and loving you. Hands guiding you, sending you off and leading you back, and sending you out again. Feel the weight of these hands and take it in. You are held by a love that will not let you go. So, beloveds gathered here and here, I now invite you to speak aloud a word of blessing over these youth. With what do you bless them on their journey? Shout it out from where you are. Say it next to them here. With all of these blessings and all of these gifts, Avery, Willa, and Ian, may you know the depth of our love and gratitude for you. May it be so, and amen. Family members, you may return to your seats. I'm now going to invite members of our youth leadership team to come forward to present our graduates with their pillows. All right, you're going to line up over here because you have to cross the bridge. So scoot over this way, you three. The choreography that has to happen. All right, that's perfect, that's perfect. All right, you can stand over there. They color coordinated also. All right, graduates, it's time for you to cross our bridge. I will call your name, you will receive your pillow, we will applaud loudly, and then you will stay standing up here until all of you have received your pillows. I also want to recognize two graduates who are not able to be with us today, Binyam Hedge and Henry Mitchell Crow, who have also been raised by this congregation. So Ian Leppick, I invite you to cross this bridge. Willa Maynor. And Avery Linden. Seniors, take another deep breath, another long look at these people here. We are so, so proud of you. You have blessed us. We are changed forever because you are part of our community. It has been a blessing to be with you. We are here for you always. May it be so, and amen.
Good morning. My name is Sherry Merriam. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm one of your worship associates. As we embrace this time of transition, we will warmly invite you, our congregation, to participate in a symbolic bridging. For generations, church and religion have provided a sacred space to spiritually and emotionally mark moments of growth and change, and we continue that tradition together. To deepen our understanding of what it means to step across thresholds, I want to share a powerful excerpt from the poet John O'Donohue. To change is one of the great dreams of every heart. To change the limitations, the sameness, the banality, or the pain. So often we look back on patterns of behavior, the kind of decisions we make repeatedly, and that have failed to serve us well. And we aim for a new and more successful path or way of living. But change is difficult for us. So often we opt to continue the old pattern, rather than risking the danger of difference. We are also surprised often by change that seems to arrive out of nowhere. We find ourselves crossing some new threshold we had never anticipated, like spring secretly at work within the heart of winter. Below the surface of our lives, huge changes are in fermentation. We never suspect a thing. Then, when the grip of some long-enduring winter mentality begins to loosen, we find ourselves vulnerable to a flourish of possibility, and we are suddenly negotiating the challenge of a threshold. At any time, you can ask yourself, at which threshold am I now standing? At this time in my life, what am I leaving? Where am I about to enter? What is preventing me from crossing my next threshold? What gift would enable me to do it? A threshold is not a simple boundary. It is a frontier that divides two different territories, rhythms, and atmospheres. Indeed, it is a lovely testimony to the fullness and integrity of an experience or a stage of life that it intensifies toward the end into a real frontier that cannot be crossed without the heart being passionately engaged and woken up. At this threshold, a great complexity of emotions comes alive. Confusion, fear, excitement, sadness, hope. This is one of the reasons such vital crossing were always clothed in ritual. It is wise in your own life to be able to recognize and acknowledge the key thresholds, to take your time, to feel all the varieties of presence that accrue there, to listen inward with complete attention until you hear the inner voice calling you forward. The time has come to cross. To acknowledge and cross a new threshold is always a challenge. It demands courage and also a sense of trust in whatever is emerging. This becomes essential when a threshold opens suddenly in front of you, one for which you had no preparation. This could be illness, suffering, or loss. Because we are so engaged with the world, we usually forget how fragile life can be and how vulnerable we always are. It only takes a couple of seconds for life to change irreversibly. Suddenly you stand on completely strange ground, and a new course of life has to be embraced. Especially at such times, we desperately need blessing and protection. You look back at the life you have lived up to a few hours before, and it suddenly seems so far away. Think for a moment how, across the world, someone's life has just changed, irrevocably, permanently, and not necessarily for the better. And everything that was once so steady, so reliable, must now find a new way of unfolding. Though we know one another's names and recognize one another's faces, we never know what destiny shapes each life. The script of individual destiny is secret. It is hidden beneath and behind the sequence of happenings that is continually unfolding for us. Each life is a mystery that is never finally available to the mind's light or questions. That we are here is a huge affirmation. Somehow life needed us and wanted us to be here. To sense and trust this primeval acceptance can open a vast spring of trust within the heart. It can free us into a natural courage that casts out fear and opens up our lives to become voyages of discovery, creativity, and compassion. No threshold need be a threat, but rather an invitation and a promise. Whatever comes, the great sacrament of life will remain faithful to us, blessing us always with visible signs of invisible grace. We merely need to trust. Thank you.
I need one moment to check in with our worship team. We were doing a time check. I want to invite you to breathe. Find the pew holding you up. If you are joining us online from someplace else, notice whatever is holding you up. And pause to just hold in your heart that for which you need blessing, the threshold that is in your life, the change you are in the midst of, whether you like it or not. And when you find it, put your hands forward in front of you, just to honor it. There is a change, there is a threshold there. We notice it, we hold it lightly. And we cross that threshold symbolically together, knowing that in this change, we are holding it together. May it be so. May we have the courage to make it so. Amen.
I invite you to sing one more time with me. Would you rise? I'll rise with you. We are going, heaven knows where we are going. And we will get there, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. It will be hard. It will be hard, we know. And the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows
Beloveds, go forth to know that you are always held together in love here. And with that courage, may you be the change and the thresholds the world needs. And may you be the living blessings the world needs as well.